Indonesia's fishing industry. Indonesia's fishing industry is not just a pillar of the economy, but the very lifeblood of many coastal communities. It contributes significantly to the country's agricultural exports, making up approximately 20% of all agricultural export value. Millions of Indonesians rely on the fishing industry for their livelihoods, whether as fishermen, fish processors, or those involved in related sectors like transportation and marketing. The impact of fishing extends beyond mere employment. It's a key source of food security for the nation and the region. In fact, fish is a primary protein source for many Indonesians, making the fishing industry essential not only for economic reasons but also for maintaining public health and well-being. The fishing boats that dot the coastline and the bustling fish markets across the country represent a thriving industry that is deeply intertwined with Indonesia's cultural and social identity. Marine resources biodiversity. Indonesia's marine biodiversity is unparalleled, sitting at the crossroads of the Pacific and Indian Oceans and the Coral Triangle. This region, often referred to as the Amazon of the seas, is home to the most biodiverse marine ecosystems on Earth. With over 3,000 species of fish and a vast array of coral reefs, Indonesia's marine ecosystems are crucial not only to the country's fishing industry but also to global ecological health. These resources provide habitats for a rich variety of marine life. From tiny plankton to the majestic manta rays and endangered sea turtles. The biodiversity of Indonesia's waters has vast scientific, economic, and cultural value, supporting both traditional livelihoods and cutting-edge research. Protecting these ecosystems is vital, as they offer not just food and income, but also incredible opportunities for sustainable tourism, marine conservation, and global climate resilience. Challenges. Despite its immense marine wealth, Indonesia faces significant challenges in maintaining the health of its marine resources. Overfishing, often driven by both domestic and foreign vessels, poses a serious threat to fish stocks and biodiversity. The consequences of overfishing are particularly severe for small-scale fishermen, who depend on healthy ecosystems to sustain their livelihoods. Adding to the problem is the prevalence of illegal, unreported, and unregulated IUU fishing, which continues to plunder Indonesia's waters, robbing the country of vital fish stocks and undermining conservation efforts. On top of this, climate change presents an additional burden, with rising sea temperatures, ocean acidification, and shifting fish migration patterns all threatening the delicate balance of marine life. Pollution, particularly plastic waste and agricultural runoff, also poses a significant risk to Indonesia's marine ecosystems, contaminating waters and harming marine creatures. To ensure the future sustainability of its fishing industry, Indonesia must tackle these issues head-on with coordinated, innovative solutions. Government initiatives. In response to these growing threats, the Indonesian government has implemented a series of measures to safeguard its marine resources and support sustainable practices. Laws have been introduced to combat illegal fishing, with stronger enforcement and harsher penalties for violators. To promote sustainable aquaculture, the government is encouraging responsible farming practices that protect the environment, reduce waste, and improve the efficiency of production. Indonesia has also launched initiatives to restore coral reefs, which are vital for marine biodiversity and the health of fish stocks. These efforts aim to rejuvenate damaged ecosystems, allowing fish populations to recover and marine habitats to flourish. Through these laws and initiatives, Indonesia is taking decisive steps to create a fishing industry that balances economic growth with environmental responsibility, ensuring that future generations can continue to rely on the oceans for sustenance and employment. Aquaculture exports. Indonesia's aquaculture industry is flourishing, playing an increasingly prominent role in the global seafood market. As the world's third-largest producer of aquaculture products, Indonesia focuses on sustainable farming of shrimp, tilapia, and seaweed species that are in high demand across international markets. This growing industry has created thousands of jobs, particularly in rural coastal regions, and has positioned Indonesia as a leading exporter of seafood. Major export destinations include the United States, Japan, and the European Union, where demand for responsibly farmed seafood continues to rise. As global seafood consumption increases, Indonesia is strategically enhancing its production capabilities while maintaining a focus on sustainability. The industry is investing in modern technologies and innovative farming techniques to reduce environmental impact, enhance efficiency, and meet the evolving demands of consumers worldwide. With an expanding global market and a commitment to eco-friendly practices, Indonesia's aquaculture sector is poised for continued growth, providing a reliable and sustainable source of income for the nation's fishing communities. Industrial versus small-scale fishing. Indonesia's fishing industry is a complex landscape, with large industrial fleets and small-scale fishermen often operating side by side. Industrial fishing, with its massive trawlers and advanced technology, often dominates the seas, targeting high-value species for export. However, small-scale fishermen, many of whom use traditional, sustainable methods, face immense challenges. These include limited access to modern fishing equipment, competition from industrial fleets, and the depletion of local fish stocks. Despite the difficulties, small-scale fishermen are crucial to Indonesia's fishing industry, not only for their contribution to national food security but also for the cultural and community bonds they represent. Recognizing the importance of small-scale fishing, the Indonesian government has launched several initiatives aimed at leveling the playing field. These initiatives provide small-scale fishermen with better access to technology, financial support, and training in sustainable fishing practices. With these measures, Indonesia hopes to ensure that small-scale operations can thrive alongside larger commercial ventures, helping to create a more balanced, resilient, and sustainable fishing economy. Mackerel fishing. Mackerel fishing is a vital segment of Indonesia's fisheries sector. This species is highly sought after both domestically and internationally for its high nutritional value and versatility in cooking. Purse seine netting is the primary method used for mackerel fishing, a technique that involves enclosing large schools of fish with massive nets. However, the mackerel industry is not without its challenges. High operational costs, fluctuating market prices, and intense competition from other nations threaten the profitability of the industry. Moreover, concerns over the sustainability of mackerel stocks have led to calls for stricter management of fishing practices. Nevertheless, the mackerel industry holds significant potential, particularly in export markets. Indonesia can capitalize on this opportunity by improving efficiency, enhancing fish stock management, and developing new markets for its mackerel products. With careful management and sustainable practices, the mackerel industry could become an even greater driver of economic growth and job creation in coastal areas. Sustainability efforts. Sustainability is at the forefront of Indonesia's efforts to preserve its marine resources. To address overfishing and ensure the long-term viability of the fishing industry, the government has introduced fishing quotas and established marine protected areas where fishing is limited or prohibited. These measures aim to prevent the depletion of fish stocks and allow ecosystems to regenerate. Additionally, Indonesia is promoting the use of eco-friendly fishing gear, such as biodegradable nets and fish traps that reduce bycatch and minimize damage to fragile marine habitats. The government is also working with local fishing communities to transition to more sustainable practices through training and financial support. These sustainability efforts not only protect Indonesia's marine environment but also safeguard the livelihoods of future generations of fishermen. By fostering a culture of responsibility and stewardship, Indonesia is laying the groundwork for a more sustainable fishing industry, one that balances economic needs with environmental preservation. International collaboration. Indonesia's approach to marine conservation goes beyond national borders, recognizing that the health of the ocean is a global concern. Through collaboration with international organizations such as the Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO) and the World Wildlife Fund (WWF), Indonesia is contributing to global efforts to combat illegal, unreported, and unregulated (IUU) fishing and promote sustainable fishing practices. These partnerships have led to the sharing of knowledge, expertise, and best practices, strengthening Indonesia's efforts to preserve its marine resources. By participating in international initiatives and forums, Indonesia is enhancing its capacity to enforce regulations, protect its waters, and contribute to the global fight against environmental degradation. These international collaborations are essential to ensuring that Indonesia's marine resources are protected not only for the benefit of its own people but for the benefit of the world's oceans and future generations. Economic cultural importance. The mackerel fishing industry holds a deep cultural significance for Indonesia's coastal communities, where fishing has been a way of life for centuries. The industry supports local economies, provides jobs, and drives infrastructure development in rural areas. Beyond its economic value, mackerel fishing connects people to the sea and to each other, forging strong community bonds. In many coastal regions, fishing is not just an occupation but a deeply ingrained tradition, with families passing down skills and knowledge through generations. This cultural connection to the sea is reflected in the country's festivals, culinary traditions, and way of life. By ensuring that the mackerel industry remains sustainable and economically viable, Indonesia can preserve both the livelihoods of its people and its rich cultural heritage. With ongoing support for sustainable fishing practices and international collaboration, the mackerel fishing industry can continue to be a driving force for both economic development and cultural preservation in Indonesia.